I am so excited to be here as always. So today we are going to be talking about Jeff Bezos. We're going to be talking about decisions, commitments, all those good things. Let me just introduce myself. So guys, my name is AnitadeSouza. I am a chartered management accountant and a finance and wealth coach. So I help individuals and entrepreneurs to optimize their financial health. That includes, learning to save, invest, get out of debt so they can start building wealth and live the life of their dreams. Okay, guys? So that's what I do. And, how is everyone doing? So just message down below. Let me know how you're doing and how your day's been, how your week's been. Message down below. So I'm so excited to do this live today. But before I do, I've got a few announcements, as I always do. So guys, I've got a free ebook and, it's really easy to read. It's very short and it's called the 9 Steps to Financial Freedom. I'm going to put it in the comment box above. So feel free to go and grab it. And it's free. Okay. The next thing is, if you want to change your money mindset and you want to start saving better, you want to, learn how to save and get into that habit, I invite you to join my savings group. It's called Saving Money Made Easy. After this live, I will put the details in the description box. Okay. Then guys, also I've got a YouTube channel. So it's called AnitadeSouza.com. I'd love for you to go over there and subscribe. I do additional motivational video. If you're watching live right now, let me know who you are. Let me know, where you're watching from. It's great to know who is watching my content. And then lastly, if you liked this live, if it motivated you, if it inspired you, just give me a like, send me some love, and share if you feel compelled. Okay, right. So as you know, I'm really excited to talk about this Jeff Bezos as part of my Billionaire series, because this is my pastime. Like when I was younger, I used to read autobiographies and, I find that you learn so much about people's lives, about what they've been through by reading their autobiography, right? And, also I believe that success leaves success leaves clues. Okay, so people who have produced outstanding results, they do specific things, and I feel like if you learn about these people and you follow the steps that they are doing, okay, you will also learn how to get successful. I've seen some people join. Hi guys. Okay, so it's really funny that I'm doing this live because a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to do a live on someone called Soichiro Honda. Okay, let me know if you've heard of Soichiro Honda. He basically is the founder of Honda, the automobile company, right? And his story is most definitely a rags to riches story. And it's really, really inspirational. So I wanted to share it with you guys. But then I realized that when he passed away, he died as a millionaire, not a billionaire. So obviously that's not going to fit into my Billionaire series. But I think I will eventually start doing Millionaire series as well, because there are a lot of millionaires out there who have like very inspirational stories. So yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. But tell me, who on here right now loves Amazon? Who uses Amazon? I think everybody on this planet uses Amazon. I must have ordered from Amazon a couple of days ago, right? And so it's quite interesting for me to talk about Jeff Bezos because a lot of us use his company for convenience, okay? So before I talk about Jeff Bezos, I just want to say a few things. I know I talk about millionaires a lot. I know I talk about billionaires a lot. But the truth is, money doesn't move me. And for those who know me very well, you know that is the case. I'm more about how kind people are. I'm more about how people treat others. I'm more about, how people like to give back. And that's what really I'm concerned about. But having said that, we all know that, money makes the world go round. Okay. And also, I'm sure you've experienced yourself, when you have money, you are treated well. Unfortunately, that is the world that we live in. right? And I'm sure you've experienced that, you've been to a nice hotel or you've been to a nice restaurant and you've been treated really well. Why? Because you were able to afford their services. A friend of mine traveled, and this was before lockdown, and she said, she stayed in a very, very posh hotel, and she said, I was treated so well. The people treated me so well. And I thought to myself, we joked about it and we said, yeah, of course they'll treat you well because you were able to pay for the services, right? So, the fact is, when we have money, we are treated better. But the true test of character, okay, is when people have money and they're still good people and they're still kind to others, okay? Because we've all heard, money can make people corrupt, money can do this, money can do that. But I don't think that's the case. I think money makes people more of who they are, right? So if you are somebody who is kind, who is giving, when you become successful, or when you have a lot of money, you will be more kind, more giving, right? But when you are, say, greedy or, rude and arrogant and all those kind of things, and you become, rich or wealthy, you will also be more of that, okay? So I think the main thing is for us to work on our characters so that when we become, successful or rich or whatever it is, it doesn't change who we are, or we remain good people. Right. So I normally talk about rags to riches stories for billionaires. I spoke about, who was it? Jack Ma. I spoke about J.K. Rowling. And obviously today I'm going to be speaking about Jeff Bezos. But although his story might not be a rags to riches, I do think that his story is very inspirational. And, there's a lot of lessons we can learn from it. So let's go. So I have 6 lessons from Jeff Bezos' kind of story. And, I'm sure you guys know he is the richest man in the world at the moment. As at today, his net worth stands at $177 billion. Okay. And let me just put this into perspective, right? 1 billion is 1,000 million, so 1 million times 1,000. So if you can imagine 1,000 million, multiply that by 177. It is absolutely insane. And you may think, how is somebody going to use all of that money, right? Well, to be honest, him and his family could have lived on 177 million, right? 177 million for generations and generations to come. But obviously it's not millions we're talking about, it's billions. So how does he spend his money? Well, he has a lot of properties all over the world, okay? He has a top range private jet or private plane or whatever you call it. And he has another company called Blue Origin, okay? And that company was established in 2000, and they're all about space travel and development of human life on the solar system, okay? Now, don't ask me what that's all about, but he's interested in moving, people on Earth to Mars or to a different solar system. Yeah. So, what he does is that in order to kind of allow his second business to run, he normally sells some of his stocks, makes it liquid, gets the money, and then invests it into his other company. But a lot of people think that Jeff Bezos has a net worth of 177 billion from being the CEO and the founder of Amazon. But actually, being the CEO of Amazon, he gets paid $82,000, and that is all. That is not much, is it? But that's what he gets paid. His wealth comes from the stocks that he holds in Amazon. Okay, so basically, he owns 11% in Amazon, and then Amazon owns a lot of other companies, right? So they own Whole Foods, they own IMBD or IMDb, I don't know which one. They own, what else do they own? Audible. So Amazon actually owns a lot of other companies, okay? And Amazon is estimated or is valued at $1 trillion, okay? So let me put that into perspective, okay? $1 billion is 1,000 million, okay? So $1 trillion is 1,000 billion. Isn't that ridiculous? Absolutely ridiculous. But that's what it is. So that's where he gets his wealth from, his stocks that he has in Amazon. Okay, so what can we learn from this? The lesson number one is learn to invest, okay? Investing is such a powerful tool. The whole point is that if you want to build wealth, you have to learn how to invest. You have to have more than one stream of income, okay? And you know, how can you learn to invest? There's so many ways. You know, find a mentor. For me, I didn't know a year ago. I didn't know how to invest, right? And when I talk about investing, I'm talking about investing in index funds. I'm talking about investing in stocks and bonds. Okay, that's the kind of investing I'm talking about. And I decided to find a mentor. So I started, you know, researching, because I always have a mentor. And as I grow, I change my mentors. So I was trying to find a new mentor who knew about investing and who was where I wanted to be. And so I came across somebody who is now my mentor, and his name is Ken, and his wife's name is Mary. Okay, Ken basically became financially independent at the age of 34, and you know, now him and his wife, his beautiful wife, they have a company called The Humble Penny. They have a blog, they're on YouTube, they've got a website. And so I did my research on them, and I found out that they had been on the BBC, they had been on the Daily Mail, they had been interviewed by the BBC, by the Daily Mail, and you know, they were legit, like proper people. So I then kind of contacted them and found out about this platform that they're hosting. It's called the Financial Joy Academy. And on there's a lot of people who are working towards financial independence. And one of the first things I learned when I joined the Financial Joy Academy was how to invest, okay? And now I know how to invest, and I'm just basically learning to do it on a more regular basis. So guys, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, if you want to achieve something, if you want to get somewhere, you need to find somebody who has already done it and who is like, you know, who is able to kind of coach you or teach you and guide you on how to get there. So if you guys want to know what kind of academy I'm part of, if you want to know more about the Financial Joy Academy, I will put the details above as well. Okay, great. So basically, that is what I advise. I advise you learn how to invest, okay? Now, Jeff, his parents and his family, let's talk about that. So Jeff Bezos was born Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen, okay? So his name wasn't always Jeff Bezos. His mum basically fell pregnant with him, or had him, when she was 17, and she was a high school student, okay? She was a high school student, and she basically, her partner was, he worked in a bike shop, okay? So at the age of 17, she had, you know, Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen, and, you know, by the time he was 17, she had divorced his dad, okay, or they had divorced, should I say. And so then she ended up meeting somebody else who was a Cuban immigrant called Miguel Mike Bazos. And basically they got married in 1968, okay? And at this time, Jeff Bezos was 4 years old. So his parents, basically Mike adopted Jeff when he was 4 years old and changed his name to Jeff Bezos. So that's where the name basically came from. And so what is the lesson we can learn from this? Well, can you imagine what his mum must have gone through at the age of, in 1960s, getting pregnant, okay, and then at the age of 17, whilst you're still a high school student, okay, and then, you know, divorcing, marrying again, and then changing your child's name to your new husband, okay? Can you imagine the judgment she would have got from people? Because the thing is, people are so quick to judge others, right, when their lives are not exactly rosy, okay? And, you know, the problem is that she stood up to her convictions and she did what she felt was right, okay? So basically what I'm trying to say is, as people, we are always afraid of other people's judgments, okay? People that don't even contribute to our lives in a positive way. We are afraid of being seen as different, okay? We are afraid of, you know, being our authentic selves. You know, we are afraid of living the life we were supposed to and just being human, because actually we make mistakes, right? And to be honest with you, no matter what you do, people will judge you. No matter what you do in life, people will judge you. So when you are trying to achieve success, when you're trying to be something great, you have to basically, be bold. Be bold and stand up, stand to your own convictions. Do not feel that you have to hide who you are because you'll be judged by other people, okay? I have been through some very difficult times in my life, I guarantee you. And I'm just grateful to God that I got through them. But the point is that, we have to be who we are and we have to be proud, okay? We have to let our light shine no matter who gets intimidated by it, right? So Bezos, his maternal grandfather was a regional director, okay, of a US atomic energy commission, okay, of the US Atomic Energy Commission. Let me get that right. And he retired early, and he retired to his family ranch in Texas. Now, Jeff Bezos used to spend a lot of time with his maternal grandfather. And, I believe by spending time with his grandfather, he would have gained a lot of knowledge from him. He would have learned so much. I mean, for me, there's nothing like sitting with a mature person, an older person who has experienced so much life and learn from their lessons that they have to share. Like my dad tells the best stories. My dad tells the best stories, and there's always some pearls of wisdom in there. And sometimes I think, are these stories all true? Because they're like really good stories. But the point is that, we have to learn from people who are older than us, and we have to learn those bits of wisdom that will help us not make similar mistakes or make some kind of mistakes that we will make. Okay, so later Jeff Bezos, he purchased his grandfather's ranch, okay, and he basically expanded it from 25,000 acres to 300,000 acres. Success leaves clues. So from a very young age, he was already making moves. He was already making a difference. He was able to expand his grandfather's ranch from 25,000 acres to 300,000 acres. So what's the lesson here? Okay, the lesson here is that we have to manage our money well. Okay, we have to manage our money well and make it multiply for us. Okay, with every, how can I put it? There is an opportunity cost for every pound or dollar that you spend. So use your money wisely. Invest your money wisely. Okay. There was something that I posted on my stories today, and what it said was that in order for you to manage $1 million, you need to learn how to manage 100,000 pounds or dollars. In order to manage $100,000, you need to learn how to manage $10,000. In order to manage $10,000, you need to learn to manage $1,000. In order to manage 1,000, you need to learn how to manage 100. So the point is that you have to start small and you build up from that. Okay. Now, one of the speeches that Jeff Bezos made was that, if you don't love your work, you will never be great at it. Okay. What he was basically saying was that there are so many people who hate their jobs, who literally hate their jobs. And how can you be great at something if your passion is not there for your work? So you need to basically find something that you're passionate about and, do it on the side. That will always keep your fire burning. Find whatever makes you happy and find a way to monetize it, basically. Okay. Jeff Bezos was interested in engineering and, how to make things digital, and hence why he started Amazon, right? Because Amazon started as an online book business, right? So the point is that, you need to find what you're passionate about and basically monetize it. Okay. He had a vision of an online kind of book. How can I put it? He had a vision of an online bookstore, I guess, and he then had a vision that it would grow bigger than that. So he actually had planned to expand it to sell other things, but he wanted to start off by selling books. So the point is that the lessons we can learn from this are, follow your passions, follow what you are good at, and always have a side hustle. Start with something, and it doesn't mean leaving your job. Stay in your job, but have a side hustle. And as you get better at it, and as it starts generating more money, you don't know where it will take you. Okay, so that's basically the point. Now let's move on. So while Jeff Bezos was in high school, he worked in McDonald's during doing the breakfast shift. but he still got straight A's, right? He over delivered in everything he was doing. And whilst he was at uni, he still worked, but as I said, he still got good grades. When I was at uni, I worked in a computer shop, I worked at a bar, and it was all to generate money, right? It didn't affect my grades, but at the end of it, I came out with an accounting and finance degree. I came out with, I had passed my driving test. I had bought a very decent car. So the point is that, you have to work hard in everything that you do. And there's no excuses. If you're saying, oh yeah, I have to do this and I have to do that, suck it up and just do it. You have to be focused and you have to be dedicated to whatever you are doing, right? So anyway, Jeff Bezos, he continued to work hard and joined companies from Intel, he joined Bell Labs, he joined Anderson Consultancy, and he finally joined another company called D.E. Shaw & Co. Okay, and basically he became the 4th senior vice president at the age of 30. Success leaves clues. He became a vice president at the age of 30. So you can imagine the dedication, the hours, the learning, everything he put into getting this role, right? But the thing is that, he started off working in McDonald's. So it's okay to start small. We all have to start somewhere. So it's okay to start small, but figure out your dreams, figure out what gives you joy, what gives you passion, what gives you excitement, and go after it, because that is part of who you are supposed to be. Okay. And we shouldn't be worried about what other people think. Just do you. That's the most important thing here, right? So let's move on. So Jeff Bezos left D.E. Shaw, and he left there and then he founded Amazon. Okay, this was on the 5th of July 1994, and he found Amazon in his garage. Okay, as in it all started in his garage. That's where everything happened. Okay, and he started it because obviously he realized that the internet was becoming very popular, and books are powerful, right? So this is why we have to read books more often, because we can learn so much from it. And if you thought, selling books online would be so successful, there's something in there. It's basically saying that we need to read more, because what we can learn from reading books is so much more valuable and so much more powerful than anything else. Okay, so the lesson here is that Jeff Bezos left his company as a VP. He was probably earning a massive salary. You're talking about probably 6 or 7 figures to start Amazon. Okay, and he actually borrowed $300,000 from his parents. But I'm sure before he left his company, he would have made sure he was financially secure before he left the company. So it's okay to have work in a job and work well in that job and then have something on the side. That's perfectly fine. And as it continues to grow, then you can obviously leave your job. Okay. All right. So the main thing is that Jeff Bezos used his, he used choices to construct the life that he wanted. Okay. He used choices to give him the life that he wanted. He made the right decisions and the right choices, and he followed his passions. He was passionate about engineering. He was passionate about, learning about the digital space, learning about that digital stuff, and he followed that passion. Okay. So here is a quote from Heraclitus. I believe so, Heraclitus. And it says here, the content of your character is your choice. Okay. So day to day or day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become. Let me read that again. The content of your character is your choice. Day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become. So the point is that we have to make right choices, right? Our choices will lead to our life. Where we are right now is because of the decisions we've made, because of the choices we've made. So it's so important to make the right choices for you. Okay? Perfect. So let's talk about the controversial stuff concerning Jeff Bezos and Amazon. So we all know, or I basically read that he's not an angel when it comes to kind of what he pays his staff. Okay, he was paying them a minimum wage, and people made complaints, and so he then increased it in 2018 to $15 per hour. But the point is that, yes, I believe we should pay our staff well. Yes, I believe that it's important to treat your staff well, because if you're loyal to them, they will be loyal to you. But I also believe that as an employee, part of the onus lies on you, right? If you're in a company and you're not being treated well, and your value is not being seen, and you're not being treated as you like to be treated, why do you not leave, right? Why do you stay in a place that you're not happy with, right? And even if you maybe are stuck because you are, you're not sure you can actually move on, or you're not sure you'll get another job, at least think of an exit strategy, right? Start putting money aside so that when you do leave, you're financially secure and you have something you can fall back on, right? The point is, know your worth, know your value, and add tax. Okay, so whatever company you work for, make sure that you feel like you're being valued. That's the point, right? Do not expect to be treated so well and for the rest of your life. You have to also try and improve yourself, invest in yourself, grow, so that you can constantly increase your salary, increase your role, and do more. We wasn't supposed to stay in the same place forever and ever. Okay, so what's the lesson here? As I said, when you're working for a company, you are at the mercy of what they want to pay you and how they want to treat you, okay? But you should know your rights and your choices. Another thing is that there is nothing wrong in, trying to have something on the side. Jeff Bezos doesn't pay his staff very well, but he still has millions of people, or not millions, but hundreds and thousands of people working for him, right? He doesn't have to, make that extra effort, because he will always have people working for him. So you need to make the effort for yourself, okay, and invest in yourself and go out for what you want, because you are valuable and you need to get what you are worth, right? So as you know, Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world, but guess what? He is estimated to be the first ever person to make $1 trillion, okay, and it's estimated that he will do this in the next 6 years. Ridiculous. So, in 6 years, Jeff Bezos could be the first trillionaire ever. Okay. Whilst I've been doing this live, it's been 30 minutes and Jeff Bezos would have made more than $40,000, in the small space that I've been. Guys, we really have to make the right decisions if you want to become successful and achieve great things. So I just want to leave a few things with you. The first thing is that your decisions will mold your life, okay? So make the right decisions. The next thing is, I challenge you, right, to use your gifts. And if you say you don't know what your gifts are, ask the people who are closest to you, the people who are around you. They will be able to help you to figure out what your gifts are, okay? The next thing is, challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone and grow from it. How many of us are always staying in our comfort zone and, being comfortable with where we are? You have to do something new every day that scares you. Go for it. You have to. How are you going to achieve greatness? How are you going to, get far if you're just always going to stay in your comfort zone? Okay. Challenge yourself to do things that you didn't even think you could do. Okay, and that's how you grow. You will make mistakes, absolutely, but you will also learn from those mistakes, right? And then also follow your convictions. As we have seen, Jeff Bezos, his mom, like what she went through as 17-year-old pregnant with him, she followed her convictions and she did what she had to do. And, now she's got a son who is very, very successful, right? So follow your convictions no matter what people say, because people will always have something to say, right? There's a quote I'm going to leave you with from Jeff Bezos, and he says, you can choose, I'll start again. You can choose a life of comfort or a life of service and adventure, okay? And which one will you be most proud of when you are 90, okay? The point is that, we can stay in our comfort zones and, stay like this forever, or we can push ourselves to be more than we ever imagined. Okay, so I want you guys to push yourselves and be more than you ever imagined. And so guys, if you need any help with your finances, with your financial health, if you need any help whatsoever, I encourage you to DM me, get in contact. So don't forget to share my video, don't forget to like it, and just don't forget to be your best selves always, right? I'm wishing you guys all the best. Have an amazing weekend and speak to you soon. Bye.